The 80s changed R&B music forever. The sound became smoother, more sophisticated, and more emotional. Soul music evolved into a new era filled with lush harmonies, romantic lyrics, and polished production during that transformation. Some groups became superstars, while others quietly created timeless music that only true soul fans would appreciate. One of those groups was a group whose music captured the emotion, romance, and elegance of classic R&B. Their songs became hidden treasures among soul lovers. Their harmonies became unforgettable to those who discovered them. Yet somehow mainstream history rarely tells their story. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Wynd Chymes. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. By the early 80s, black music was evolving rapidly. The raw funk energy of the 70s was blended with smoother production styles. Synthesizers became more prominent. Romantic ballads dominated radio, and R&B groups focused heavily on harmony, mood, and emotional storytelling. This new era produced legendary acts that helped shape modern soul music forever. But it also created a fierce competition. Every label searched for the next breakout group. Every city had talented vocalists chasing opportunities inside that environment. Wynd Chymes emerged with a sound built on sophistication and soul. Their music wasn't loud or gimmicky, it was smooth, elegant, and deeply emotional. The group originated from Jackson, Mississippi, and consisted of Emmanuel Godfrey, Forrest Gordon, Henry Clay Rogers, Jimmy Graham, John Alford, Kanye Morris, Michael Broadley, Michael Bethea, and Morris Henderson. A few of the group members was part of the sonic boom of the South, Jackson State University's marching band. The group began performing at Jackson State under the name The Family because of their brotherly bond. After some time, they changed their name to Wynd Chymes in order to add more mystique to their group name. Eventually, they got noticed by RCA Records, which resulted into a record deal. In 1982, the group released their debut album titled Arrival, and they followed that up with their second album, Pretty Girls Everywhere, that was released in 1983. The group's most notable songs are Ride, Stylin', Smilin', and Profilin', Checking Out Your Stuff, Sending My Love,
I care for with all my heart when you
Pretty Girls Everywhere,
pretty girls,
and Lonely Lady. What made Wynd Chymes stand out was the atmosphere. Their music created feelings, late night soul, and slow jams. Music designed for romance, reflection, and emotional connection. The group blended polished harmonies with modern R&B production in ways that perfectly captured the mood of the era. Their songs carried warmth and vulnerability, unlike many heavily commercialized acts. Wynd Chymes, they sounded genuine. Their records reflected an era where vocal groups still depended heavily on harmony and chemistry rather than an image. That authenticity became one of the reasons why soul fans connected so deeply with their music, even decades later. But talent alone doesn't always guarantee success in the music industry, especially during the 80s. As digital marketing became increasingly important, record labels focused heavily on crossover appeal, and many talented R&B groups struggled to receive constant promotion and exposure. Wynd Chymes faced those realities firsthand. Despite strong musicianship and quality records, the group never fully broke into the mainstream spotlight. The way of some The group never fully broke into mainstream spotlight the way some of their contemporaries did, and that's one of the hardest truths about the music industry. Many extraordinary artists become overlooked, not because of the lack of talent, but because of timing, promotion, or industry politics. Still, the group continued building a loyal fan base who appreciated real soul music, and sometimes that audience become even more devoted than mainstream fame itself. As years passed, the group slowly became one of those groups rediscovered by dedicated soul fans and collectors. Old school R&B lovers kept the music alive. DJs continued playing their records, and internet music communities introduced younger audience to forgotten classics, and slowly that was rediscovered. The group legacy began growing quietly beneath the surface because true music lovers eventually find authenticity, and Wynd Chymes represent a period when R&B prioritized emotion and musicianship over trends. Their music aged gracefully because it was built on timeless elements. Groups like Wynd Chymes helped preserve an important tradition in Black music history. The art of vocal harmony, the emotional honesty of soul music, and the smooth sophistication that define classic R&B. Even modern artists continue borrowing from that era. Neo soul, contemporary R&B, and Quiet Storm revival music. Much of it traces back to when groups who laid down the groundwork decades earlier, and through mainstream conversations often focus only on the biggest stars. Much of that traces back to groups who laid down the groundwork decades earlier. And although mainstream conversations often focus only on the biggest stars, the culture itself remembers the deeper catalog. The hidden gems the group's true fans never forgot. Wynd Chymes became one of those groups. Music history often celebrates the loudest names, but sometimes the most beautiful stories belong to the artists hidden quietly beneath the surface. Wynd Chymes may never have dominated the headlines, but they created music that touched our hearts, and decades later, their harmony still resonates, and their story still deserves to be told. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by Wynd Chymes? Before I go, I want to take a second to promote my Discord. Over here, I provide a safe space for my supporters. We discuss music of all genres. You can provide me feedback on recent uploads, etc. If that interests you, then go ahead and check me out. The link is in my bio. While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.